History tends to highlight the achievements of famous individuals, but beneath the surface lies a darker reality. Many renowned figures harbored secrets and engaged in questionable actions that often go overlooked. Let's delve into 10 sinister facts about historical figures that shed light on their complex legacies. Number 1. Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, revered for his role in emancipating slaves and leading the United States through the Civil War, had a multifaceted legacy with complexities beyond his well-known achievements. Despite his pivotal role in abolishing slavery, Lincoln's approach to the issue of freed slaves was not without controversy. Lincoln initially considered a plan to deport freed slaves out of the country, believing that racial integration would be difficult to achieve in America. In 1863, he initiated a project to resettle freed slaves on an island called Île à Vache in the Caribbean. However, this resettlement effort was marred by mismanagement and inadequate resources, resulting in widespread suffering, including outbreaks of smallpox and starvation among the relocated population. Furthermore, during his presidency, Lincoln took controversial actions regarding civil liberties. He suspended the writ of habeas corpus, a legal protection against unlawful detention, in certain areas of the country during the Civil War, arguing that it was necessary to maintain order and protect national security. This decision was met with criticism and legal challenges, with opponents arguing that it violated constitutional rights. Number 2. Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was renowned for his leadership in India's struggle for independence and his advocacy of nonviolent resistance, conducted experiments in celibacy as part of his spiritual practices. These experiments included sleeping next to young women, such as his grandnieces, as a means of testing his ability to maintain celibacy and self-discipline. Gandhi, a devout Hindu, believed in the concept of brahmacharya, which emphasizes celibacy and self-restraint as a path to spiritual enlightenment. He viewed these experiments as essential for his personal growth and moral development. Among the young women who participated in these experiments were Gandhi's grandnieces, including Manu and Abha, who lived with him at his ashram. They shared sleeping quarters with Gandhi, often in close physical proximity. While Gandhi maintained that these experiments were conducted with the full consent of the participants and were motivated by his spiritual convictions, critics have raised ethical concerns about the power dynamics involved. They argue that Gandhi's influence and authority over the young women may have compromised their ability to freely consent to such intimate arrangements. The controversy surrounding Gandhi's conduct with his grandnieces underscores the complexities of assessing historical figures and their actions within the context of their time and cultural norms. Despite differing interpretations, Gandhi's legacy as a champion of nonviolence and social justice remains influential worldwide. Number 3. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus's voyages to the New World are often portrayed as heroic adventures that opened up the Americas to European exploration and colonization. However, there's a darker reality behind this narrative. Columbus is now vilified as a sadist with no regard for the indigenous people he encountered. Despite once being revered, Columbus is now associated with allegations of enslavement, rape, murder, and even feeding human meat to his dogs. This has sparked movements in the United States to rename Columbus Day to Indigenous People Day. Columbus's primary motive wasn't exploration or cultural exchange, but the pursuit of wealth and power. His actions led to brutal treatment, including enslavement and mass killings of indigenous populations. While Columbus's legacy is still celebrated in some quarters, there's a growing recognition of the need to confront the darker aspects of his actions. This underscores the importance of critically examining historical figures and acknowledging the full extent of their actions, even when uncomfortable or inconvenient. Number 4. Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa's legacy is clouded by controversy despite her reputation for compassion. Critics allege that her charity, the Missionaries of Charity, provided substandard medical care and lacked transparency in its finances. Some argue that her focus on spiritual comfort sometimes overlooked the need for proper medical treatment, leading to unnecessary suffering for patients. A former worker at one of Teresa's centers, Arup Chatterjee, and a British writer, suggest that some of these centers weren't really for helping the sick, but rather for converting people to Catholicism. Defenders maintain her intentions were genuine, Yet the debate highlights the complexities of humanitarian aid and the importance of transparency in charitable organizations. Number 5. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther, a theologian and professor, played a significant role in sparking the Protestant Reformation and challenging the authority of the Catholic Church. Initially, his views sought to lessen the influence of the Pope, reform the strict practices of the Roman Catholic Church, and express empathy towards mistreated followers of the Jewish faith. However, over time, Luther's opinions evolved. Approximately 15 years after initiating the Reformation, Luther underwent a change of heart, purportedly due to reports of Jewish attempts to convert Christians. He then expressed vehement anti-Semitic sentiments, labeling Jews as truly stupid fools and advocating for the destruction of their homes. This shift in attitude transformed the once tolerant reformer into a figure known as the Church Father of anti-Semitism, with accusations suggesting he paved the way for Hitler's ideologies. Number 6. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, one of America's founding fathers and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, is often celebrated for his role in shaping the nation's democratic principles. However, behind the facade of his public image lies a stark contrast with his private life. Despite Jefferson's vocal support for liberty and equality, he owned hundreds of slaves throughout his lifetime. While he publicly acknowledged the injustice of slavery, privately, he continued to participate in and benefit from the institution. One of the most contentious aspects of Jefferson's personal life is his relationship with Sally Hemings, one of his slaves. Historical evidence suggests that Jefferson fathered several children with Hemings, starting when she was a teenager. This relationship sheds light on the power dynamics and exploitation inherent in the master-slave relationship, highlighting the hypocrisy of Jefferson's professed ideals of freedom and equality. The revelation of Jefferson's relationship with Hemings has sparked significant debate and controversy among historians and the public alike. It forces a re-evaluation of Jefferson's legacy, challenging the traditional narrative of him as a champion of human rights and democracy. Number 7. Joseph Stalin. Joseph Vissarionovich Stalin was a Soviet revolutionary and politician, wielded leadership over the Soviet Union from 1924 until his demise in 1953. Stalin's reign of terror extended far beyond his purges. He implemented policies that resulted in widespread famine, such as the forced collectivization of agriculture, which led to the deaths of millions of Soviet citizens. Additionally, Stalin's regime was characterized by pervasive censorship and surveillance, stifling dissent and instilling fear among the population. The combination of political repression, economic mismanagement, and ideological fanaticism under Stalin's rule left a lasting scar on the Soviet Union and its people, highlighting the devastating consequences of unchecked authoritarian power.